Okay, now in module 2 here, we start to introduce some different slopes, just something subtle, something to make you think a little bit. We've brought in this little hump here so you can go over it. This is sort of section 2 that we have in the middle here, all the way up to the front. And this is nice because there's just some subtle slope and some subtle things that you have to navigate here. So we're making you think a little bit about the types of shot that you're going to be faced on the golf course with just some little changes in contours off and on the green. So we're here again in module 2, and this is a nice spot to work on some longer uphill and downhill putts, just to get your speed ready for the day. Again, from this position, it's straight uphill. There's very little slope here. It just goes straight up and downhill. If we wanted to introduce a little slope, we would just turn on towards the first tee or over here towards module number 1, where we can introduce a little bit of a ridge there just to work on how you can control your speed up and down the ridge. Once you've obviously gone up and down, or up, you can go down the hill as well and get a sense of, you know, that 20, 30, 40, even 50 feet uphill and downhill. So this section here is a great area to work on your lag putting. If you wanted to add a little bit of break into it, we're going to stay in this section up here on the top of module 2, and we're going to hit towards module 1. And what we're going to have is we're going to have a nice long left to right breaking putt. So again, if we want to get some longer breaking putts, this is a nice spot to go. If the pins aren't in the right location, the great thing about these ones here is they're movable, right? So move them to the location that you want to hit, or put a little disc like I have down to create the situations that you want to create in this practice facility. Now, I'm down here in the corner of module 2, and what we're going to do is we're going to start to hit onto a green, but now the green isn't flat anymore. So we're going to have to learn how this ball is going to react once it lands on the green, how it's going to respond. So we've got to land it on that slope and figure out that nice little contour there as I'm hitting this little shot. Figuring how much is that ball actually getting affected. You see, it actually got above that ridge and straightened out for me. So I just need to keep it a little bit on the lower side there. And you can see that reacting beautifully there as it hits that slope. So even we're not adding a lot of tough ones here, but we're starting to add a little bit more variety. Now, I could probably take this straight up the gut here and don't play a lot of break at all. So the good thing about this situation is I have some options. I can play a lot of break, or I can hit it straight up. And even if I just moved a little bit here, I'd almost have a dead straight uphill chip. So with just a little bit of movement, you can create a lot of different options around the screen.